I have a special present for you, Mr. Lopez.
Thanks, man. What is it? Is it pins? What kind of pins? Really, I'm not a Raider fan. Thank you, though.
Yeah, but I know what kind of fan you are.
Thanks.
Did you guys hear me when I was talking to you? Okay. My speaker was turned off, so I came back on and you guys were laughing and I didn't hear any of you. So I wanted to make sure that you had heard me.
Okay, we're at 4 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started. We'll call the meeting to order at 4 o'clock. Roll call, Mrs. Ham,
Present.
Mrs. Jayasinghe,
Present.
Mr. Lopez,
Present.
Mr. Valadez, not present, Mrs. Pickle present. So I invite y'all to stand for the flag salute.
Ready, salute.
I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. We have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Can we just do a roll call vote, Mrs. Rohrbach?
Sure, however you'd like.
Okay, Mrs. Ham,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Jayasinghe,
Yes.
and Mrs. Pickle, yes. So motion passes 4-0. One and only item 6.01, resolution 06-21, short-term employees. And Mrs. Ballinger.
Good evening, President Pickle and board members. Due to the California mandate to test unvaccinated staff and our testing of close contact students, the district finds the need to hire short-term employees for these services for the 21-22 school year. Pursuant to Education Code 45103B, the district may employ short-term employees employed and paid for less than 75% of the school year who shall not be part of the classified service. Education Code 45103D2 states a short-term employee is defined to mean any person who is employed to perform service for the district upon the completion of which the service required or similar services will not be extended or needed on a continuing basis. Education Code 45103D2 also states that before employing a short-term employee, the governing board shall specify the service required to be performed by the employee and shall certify the ending date of service, which may be shortened or extended by the governing board, but shall not exceed 75% of the school year. According to the August 11th, 2021 state public health order, the district is required to track vaccination status and test unvaccinated staff weekly. We also have a need to test close contact students, complete data entry associated with testing, and communicate results and protocols with staff, students, and families. The district has been unable to provide these services to the level they will be needed through the use of existing district staff. The following non-classified, non-certificated positions will allow the district to meet the standard required to accomplish the additional testing. 20 short-term COVID testing clerks. They'll be 3.75 hours per day employees, 4 days a week at $20 an hour. And then 4 short-term COVID testing clerk leads at 3.75 hours a day, 4 days a week at $25 an hour. The ending date of the services shall be June 30th, 2022, and in no event shall they exceed 195 working days. The recommendation, the superintendent recommends the Board of Trustees adopt resolution number 6-21, short-term employees, to hire 24 short-term employees for the 21-22 school year.
I'll make a motion to approve and then we can go into discussion. Thank you.
I'll second the motion. Couple questions I have. If it's determined that we know that we don't need these employees through the end of the school year, as it's a temporary position, can they be terminated with an appropriate 2 weeks notice or something along those lines?
Yes, they will be at-will employees, so the contract we'll actually use with them does say that.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And we only test 4 days a week?
Well, the staff testing needs to be weekly, so unvaccinated staff have to test 1 time a week. And then the close contacts, they're tested 2 times a week. So Director Johnson developed a schedule that would work it out so that they'd be on each campus 2 times a week.
Oh.
So
Okay.
what we're doing is creating testing teams. So there'll be 6 people on a team, and there'll be 5 of the clerks and then 1 lead for each team. And then those teams will travel to 1 school in the morning, and they'll go to some schools in the morning, some schools in the afternoon.
Just to be clear, this measure is for unvaccinated staff that has to start in the next 2 weeks. If we get a mandate from the state that is beyond unvaccinated staff, we will be coming back to you. This will just be the first measure.
Okay, so this is for staff. It has nothing to do with students?
Now they'll handle the close contact testing for students also.
Okay,
It does have to do with students, to be clear, yes.
great. I've heard that there can be long lines at campuses, and so I'm sure this will be very appreciated.
Yes.
Hey, Mrs. Ballinger, as far as qualifications for the staff, because we're talking about adding, 24 new people, correct?
Yes.
So is there going to be a certain qualification that they must have in order to fulfill, I don't know, I guess the tracing, exposure, and the staff testing?
We're going to be looking for people with clerical experience or clerical skills, because the testing staff do themselves, but then it's more the data entry and the being able to follow directions. That's what we'll be looking for in staff.
And how soon are you looking to fill these? I mean, obviously you're going to start posting, I guess, on EdJoin or something as soon as we approve or take action tonight.
Yeah, as soon as you approve, we want to get it posted. We're going to do it as an until filled posting, so that once we get like a pool of applicants, we can interview and hire, and we can do that till we fill all the positions.
And then obviously, I think a number of us have received emails from our CSEA, chapter 252, in regards to some of their concerns. So like where does this $20 an hour come into play here, and then, creating that classification of being a COVID tester or whatever we want to call it. I mean, has there been dialogue with them as far as this goes, or just an emergency and we need to get this done?
Yeah, it's just an emergency. We need to get it done. What we looked at is the classified salary schedule for a clerk typist area, and kind of mid-range there is what we went off of.
Well, and I think it's fair to say it's a temporary position with no guarantee. And so in order to hire people, you're going to have to pay a little bit more than if they were hourly, full-time, more of a permanent position, right? And we all know that the market right now is very difficult for hiring. So
Mrs. Ballinger, if we have part-time classified staff now that meet, I guess, the minimum requirements, they could apply for these, I guess, this additional 3 3/4 hour position. And would that be a separate position, separate category to pay them from, so that it doesn't equal more than 6 hours, become a full-time job?
No, we don't allow people to hold 2 positions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And these hires are still subject to the interview process.
Correct. And you'll still see them on a personnel report.
Any other questions?
are they subject to background screening and things like
Yes,
that?
they'll be fingerprinted. They'll go through all the normal hiring process.
And obviously a high sense of confidentiality, correct?
Yeah, that will be definitely one of the questions.
Okay, if there are no other questions, we have a motion and a second, so we'll go ahead and call for the vote. Mrs. Ham,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mrs. Jacinga,
Yes.
Mr. Valadez,
Yes.
and Mrs. Pickle is a yes. So motion passes 5-0. And if there's nothing else, that is our only item.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Mandy. Have a
Thank
good
you,
day,
guys.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. That will adjourn
Aye.
at 4:09. Thank you.